Sponsored by Rocket Money, more on them later. Sliver is known as being kind of a dweeby, wishy-washy time traveler, the type of guy who flip-flops on his beliefs depending on who's in the room. I want a redesign that reflects that with changes to his clothing, boots, and accessories. As somebody who famously redesigned Sliver back in 2016, I think I'm the perfect artist to take this project upon myself before Sliver makes any Sonic movie appearances. Then when Sega inevitably reveals him for the Sonic Movie 7 and make his design movie ready, I can say I did it first and sue them. And of course, getting a few cardinal sins of the Sonic franchise out of the way. The movies do not like the side mouth, so we got rid of that, put that towards the center. And the number 2 thing that they will not allow is one large connecting eye. Because in a franchise known for having supersonic fast-talking hedgehogs, echidnas, and foxes, couldn't possibly have one eye. It's got to be 2 different eyes, because that's more realistic to real life. And with those things out of the way, we're just going to go ahead into the redesigns. We're going to have to re-rig everything. We're using a Sonic Forces model. This is about the highest poly count one that I could get my hands on, but we're going to be doing lots of subdividing and HDifying anyway. This won't be done until my computer lags when he's on screen. Another thing that the movies will not allow is for protruding noses like this. It's simply too unrealistic. Miyamoto himself said it when they were designing for the Sonic movie. He was like, nah, too much nose, we gotta dial that back. We'll probably just change the shape here. And I'm so glad that his nose is actually made of tortilla chips and one of them isn't attached for some reason. Sonic Forces being the great game it is, I'm gonna have to do lots of editing and remeshing, which is gonna take a lot of time and make me extremely happy because my boy deserves that amount of time. I will do it with a smile. We're gonna have to add a more realistic texture, more polygons to this nose as well. We want it to look a lot more like this, like a dog nose. We'll probably take the same texture. Gotta add nostrils, but you don't want to do it too realistic. The weird thing about the Sonic movie designs, which I personally have a lot of gripes with, despite adding little realistic things like this, you can't go too far or else people get really upset, to be honest. There can be no sharp edges. That's the number 1 rule. Something akin to that. As in terms of the texture, it's got to be pretty shiny. Bump it, noise it. I think this is how this program works. Color into normal, maybe? Looking at something like this, and of course this is going to be in cycles. Get that smooth shading on. I guess we can use the GPU, sure. I guess I can quit putting my computer through a stress test while I'm trying to work. We've got some strange clipping going on here. Can't wait to do this for everything. Where's the one we attached? Okay. Oh, this is fun. Anything for my boy. Anything for my guy. I'd do a speech at his wedding. Okay, so we end up with something a little bit more like this. I love the shading here. That makes me feel like this is going to be a really smooth process without much maintenance needed. Since we're on the topic of his mouth, I would love to do something kind of special here. People are not going to like me for this. We're remeshing it. I've gone too far. It's lagging. This is tragic. What in the world is this bull? Oh my goodness. How did it get to be like this? Okay, 16 years of trying to fix that later. Okay, part of why that was an issue is also because we haven't added fur, and this is just gonna look junky and weird. We're gonna add a mouth box as well. You ever heard of a skybox in a video game? It's kind of like that. But first, hair. Why is it gray? He's old. He's gonna have a 9 to 5 shadow, or whatever the term is. So I say we bump this up to 2K, which is not normally advised. We're definitely having children. Silver known to have wanted to have children in the Sonic 06 game.
Well, Blaze?
I want to have kids someday.
Oh no.
That's what he said. That's how he said it. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, now that is nice. Very patchy, very weird. A lot of you guys are gonna like this. Check this out. Go into here, and we can actually comb all his little hairs. This will prevent clumping. It'll keep his fur healthy and nice. And it'll also allow us to make things a little bit more realistic too. So he's gonna have a certain flow. Hair is a lot like water. It adds drip. So I'm gonna do a couple in these patchier areas. Yeah, he needs a few more. Now, as someone who's on his own journey of being made fun of for, the natural passing of time, nothing passive aggressive about this. You don't want it looking patchy. Comments will make fun of you. Oh, that's gorgeous. We don't want it going in his mouth too much. You do have to give him lips. As much as people said, oh, the old Sonic movie design, it was bad because of the lips. No, he's got to have some lips. Now, what I'm about to do is actually This is Sonic fan bait right here. The fans will love this. If they're drawing a character and they're giving it their own design, if they're making an OC, it doesn't matter what the deal is. If you do this to any Sonic character, they'll think it's the greatest thing ever. Just give a little more length around the cheeks. Yep, they love that. They love that fuzziness around the cheeks. Gotta do my boy right. I'm not a barber often, but when I am I ever a barber often? People say that about me a lot. Man, Peter ain't a barber often, but when he's a barber often, man, is he ever often a barber. Yeah, I think that's gonna be where it's at for now. Now we're gonna add a mouth box. Ew. Okay. I was gonna use a picture. We're not doing that. That's like straight up offensive and creepy. Get yourself a sphere. And do not fear the sphere. Cut it in half, throw it back. We're gonna animate the mouth at some point. For now, we just want a pretty close contour to how his mouth is at this very moment. Mouths are a pretty dark shade. When you're making a tongue, two things you want to do. Keep it wide, keep it inside. It's a little bit of a cute thing to say. And I've been putting this off because I really don't want to have to do it. The teeth. Sorry for that jump scare. That's Jonathan Crowley. Apparently he makes mouth textures. Like even the redesign had teeth. Everyone's like, oh, the teeth made it bad. No, what made it bad is you being a nasty brat. Teeth are gonna be a curve. I don't think this is gonna end up looking very good. See, I'm an optimist, but I'm also a dentist. Question mark? We're making a tooth in a very amateur sort of way. Get the tooth in place there, man. And then we array it. Oh boy, yeah, this is good. That's not the craziest thing. It actually looks all right. Top teeth a little wider. Okay, and we'll be able to mess around with that, move it up and down and around. That's a pretty decent mouth for the most part. Now I feel like a lot of the personality in this will come out once we actually can animate the mouth and the eyes a little more. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna sculpt. Just gonna elastigrab this all, bring it down a little more, make it a little more relaxed. I think it fits his personality a little better not to have like this crazy cool hair. It kind of folds back a little bit. Makes him look a little bit less sure of himself. Also, his default resting eyes. He needs to be a little more nervous. And that's one thing they do in the Sonic movies too, is they make the eyes a little bit more forward. Definitely shrink these down a good bit. Okay, we're gonna hairify this. It's gonna take 7.5 years. So if I decide I wanna skip that and not show it, you'll be skipped. You'll know. It'll have skipped automatically. You don't have to do anything. So here's the hair lapse. Okay, we might make some adjustments. Quite a bit fluffier. Maybe a little bit more disorganized as his personality is. See, if I just say it's as his personality is after everything, then everyone understands and respects my creative choices. Now I actually went ahead and made an eye texture that I haven't yet shown you guys. This is the big reveal. This is the eye texture. Whoa, how about that big reveal of the eye texture? Oh boy. Just try and make sure they're the right size at least. Good grief. Something kind of like that. I like the fluff. I think it works. Okay, accessorizing. We got to change a couple things. First off, these boots. I've kind of got a different design in mind for them. We're going to do something everyone's wanted me to do for hours now. Take his shoes off. Or at least that take his shoe off. If you were traveling through time, and you were a time traveler, both those things, you're going to be going to a lot of different types of terrain, different circumstances. You might not know. You're on Mars 1 second, the next you're on Fandango. Trusty hiking boots, something a little more cleated on the bottom as well. So we're giving it a slightly rounder design. This is his foot actuator. That's what Miyamoto said, at least when I asked him. Make this a little bit more rounded too. See, the thing is, I have a vision in mind, and most of the time you'd maybe go into something like this with concept art. Man, could I ever not be bothered. Part of the ankle act of 65 said, make the ankles thicker. And Sega was like, all right, I mean, what are we gonna do, argue against the ankle act of 65? And I'm thinking, with this rounder design, instead of this gemstone, this is known as the foot guidance gemstone, we're gonna make it a little more rounded. This, and do a bevel into a bevel. Pluck this, intersect. People are probably confused as to why I'm not using keybinds. I don't really know them. See, like, I can make that. Like, it's kind of cute, right? And maybe even something kind of like that. I don't like the blue on the end of the shoes. I get it kind of matches his hand thing, but that's gonna have to be adjusted too. You can just get rid of that. Yeah, you can just figure that out and sit in the corner and think about what you did. Cleats. He needs them. You never know, you're time traveling, warping. Oh, what in the world all of a sudden? Football game. Time travel to football game. We want to kind of mimic this uniform fashion, right? So we're gonna reference Sonic 06 with some of these cleats. But we're also just gonna add extra, something kind of like this. So that'll give grip. You gotta recreate this design as well, which will be super easy. This sort of generative, geometry stuff. This is the sort of thing I'm really good at. Can you tell? Oops. And we do a shift. That's beautiful. That's about what I had envisioned. It's not like a crazy departure from the norm. He's still got boots. This looks pretty basic. It looks like plastic. Silver is richer now. He's got the funding of Paramount. My guy can get gold. He can get it all kinds of metallic and all kinds of shiny. Then you got these inner bits. Select loop regions. Just like my butt. I've already sullied my reputation with the Blunder crowd. I don't need to impress them. I want to impress one person here, and that is Silverina the Hedgehogina. Greetings! Peter from a few days later here. You might notice I have less facial hair. That is because I could not afford to keep feeding it. If only there was some easy-to-use app that helps you save a little more and manage your money a little bit better. Perhaps this app that has magically appeared on screen via the power of editing can help. Indeed it can. Why, it's Rocket Money. I've used Rocket Money for almost a year now, and it has indeed helped make better financial decisions by tracking my spending and laying it out in a kind of easy to understand way. With Rocket Money, you can track, summarize, and save with the power of technology. Rocket Money is able to find subscriptions that I didn't even know I was still paying for. And it'll even find services that you do want to keep paying for but are actually able to get a discount on, and it'll go and negotiate for you to get a better price. I actually got this with my internet service. It went and discussed like an adult, something I could not do. Got extra cash coming in. Rocket Money can also be set to put aside a little bit of money each month into a saving goal, because we all kind of suck at doing that ourselves. I have an insatiable desire to buy old tech that nobody besides me has ever heard of. And I use Rocket Money to keep myself in check so I can afford to eat. Get a hold of your finances today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Kinetter to get started for free. Better not let that spending get ahead of you. Nobody ever uses circle select. Hot dogs get a bad rap. So we want to kind of match these up. There's certain things we want to keep and there's certain things we don't. Okay, we're left with that. Now this is a neat trick here not many people know about. How you can kind of make it three-dimensional. Grab what you need, do a little bit of this, so it's not just a texture, it's part of the shoe. Okay, this middle part's gonna wrap it all together. I certainly hope anyway. All right, we're gonna assign this a different texture. We're getting there. Okay, we have to put some shoelaces on this. I'm starting to get a little excited. My heart's starting to beat a little bit. Because most of this segment, I kind of thought it was over. Seeing as this was looking like duty. Sorry, my language. A little depth. Put one on the other side. I'm so inspired right now. Oh, this will go so hard. Oh my goodness me! And then insect. Oh, insect. And then, yes! Okay, yeah. Orientate each individual lace. Oh my goodness. Wait, what's this? A moment of tedium that will be followed by a big reveal? I don't have to show any of this. I'll just skip to when it's done. That way people can question whether I even do anything or if I just pretend like I do and have someone else do it. That would actually be really funny if I just, all the crafts I make, all the Blender stuff, all the 3D work, if it was actually just some other dude that I hired. So much for doing the time lapse. I've talked my way through it. I've never made Silver shoe before. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Less telling, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. They definitely say that. Less doing, more pooing. That's the powwow. The old versus the new? These are looking like clown shoes now. This is the shoes of King. Line them up here, throw up a little bit. I'm gonna try to make it look like it's actually wearable. Oh, I'm so deep in his fur. Is it fleas? You can smell them. They have a smell to it. Dang, those are some bad kicks, as they say. Okay, I'm gonna take a break from the accessories and get this disgusting Oreo cookie shake looking chest fur out of here. We're going to make this so furry that you'll be able to taste the fur texture on your tongue just by watching it. Ew. Now I get to brush my boy's hair again, which is one of my favorite things. Long and fluffy. Brush my boy. What's brush ma? Oh, sorry, I don't know if you guys heard. We here at this channel, we never make jokes that have been made before. Sega, sponsor me. All right, let's get more of this fur. What fur, you might ask? What fur? For goodness sakes. Hey, kill me. Don't do that. I wonder what would happen. Hold on. No, I'm not. Ah, what the heck? Oh, it's actually perfectly fine. Well, then we'll do that. Yeah. Okay. This is probably one of the more politically divisive things I've done for sure. I could see people having strong opinions about it, but I kind of just don't care sometimes. I don't know, this is like some real like DeviantArt OC type stuff to do. I think it's good. I think it adds a little bit of character though. I need to get some sleep. It's 9:59. This is very late for me, and I need my rest. Okay, I know my acting's really good, but obviously this is not late for me. I'm up much later than this. My real excuse for wanting to stop for the day is I have 19 minutes left on the camera. I could empty it and put the SD card back in and keep recording, but that would just make too much sense. And I don't really feel like it. What is this? Okay, go away, little fairy. Okay, from here, I think we need to get away something I've been putting off, which is a backpack, because I don't know how I'm going to put a backpack on this strange-looking back. I was originally thinking we'd give him, like, a red, like, toddler school backpack, like, with Lightning McQueen on it. I think that would be funny. And maybe the backstory is that he finds it when he time travels to Radiator Springs, but I ended up deciding against it. I think it should be maybe a blue, maybe a matching blue to his blue color. We'll kind of use this as a starting point, as like an inspiration. And he's the type of guy, he's not gonna one-strap it. He's mentally beneath us. Object, always remember to apply your scale unless you don't want to and don't need to. That is one thing I always say. Do this, maybe get something kind of like that. I'm getting just this divine inspiration for a backpack for Sliver the Hedgehog. It's a rare occurrence. I'm gonna do something I thought about because I saw a YouTube short about it the other day. Subdivision surface. People like this. It keeps similar geometry, but it just like makes it rounder and whatever. I'm just letting y'all know that I know it's a thing. Probably something like this, but we're gonna make the straps adjustable. A little thickness, a little extrude of such. Kind of like this. Oh goody, I love when this tool doesn't work. The joke here is, no, I don't. Something like this, something like this, into something like this. For some seams, make a little bit of a side pocket here. This is not the way Miyamoto intended. But you know what else? It's not his video. He's always leaving stupid comments. I made Super Mario. You suck at Blender. I think he should mind his own business. Maybe focus more on his family. Might be a better use of his time. Idiot. Bit of one of these. Put it like this. Have it hang down just a tad. Right? Okay. Sweet. Y'all might have started hearing, why am I in Texas? You fine folks may have started hearing a bit of a rumbling in the background. I finally got an AC for this room. It does make the sound quality worse. It also allows me to live an extra 7 years than my projected lifespan before doing so. Akin to that, maybe? It kind of looks like it's attached. In an insane turn of events, something looks like I want it to. Wild. Give us another one. We just want to add a little bit of messiness to it. Watch this. I'm going to speedrun this. Look at this. Zip, zap, zoop, zop, zeep. This is the first time anyone's gotten to see the entire process of what I'm doing in the history of anything. One of these. Thickisize it. Thickitize me, Captain. Boom. Something kind of akin to that. I like it. Something like that. Then we'll go into this. this. I'm gonna do this. I don't know, there's just not much to be talking about. I'm just making a backpack at this point. I suppose I could talk about how I'm doing. People always just be asking, like, what are you making, not how are you making? I mean, I've been good. I got some bigger projects in the work. About to have another kid, also known as making Amy. Probably. I think I'm making Amy. I don't know, maybe I'll hate Amy that day and decide not to make Amy, but a couple of weeks maybe, a couple of months. Maybe I'll have so much fun doing this I'll just want to redesign another character, and then Bob's your mom. And if Bob's your dad, who can be against us, you know? Also, I've been feeling bad about Channel 2 neglect lately, but I've been having a lot of fun with this. And the people that care about me say, girl, do what you want to do. And the girls just want to have fun, man. I still can't believe Shigeru Miyamoto let Super Mario himself be in that music video. It's actually crazy. One of the better achievements human race has done. One of those moments in history where you wonder why Cyndi Lauper wanted her dad to be Mario. And then of course we fell from grace when she wasn't allowed to be Peach for the movie. She begged Miyamoto. Miyamoto's the butt of a lot of jokes lately on here. Quick control J these. That's that singer, J these. I'm skipping to the end of the backpack segment. I got nothing to say at the moment. The smoothness ended up being pretty good. I got this little badge here. This is kind of like the thing from the thing. This thing. A couple straps and zippers, and a beautiful compass. And yes, I used some cute little subdivision surfaces on this so that the internet likes me, because I happen to care about that. And now at this very point it was that editing me got sick of hearing 3D modeling me talk about nonsense. So I'll help speed things along past the hands and the wrists and the 15 non-topical rants that I went on during the creation and just show off the final render of this project. Silver 2, as he'll officially be called in the upcoming movie, is done. I took 3 days to learn how to properly rig a skeleton after just the regular animation, and I didn't end up learning how to properly rig a skeleton, but we got at least to a point where I could put him in some poses and you can like strut like a pretty little model, I guess. With some better lighting and fine-tuning for thumbnails, I actually ended up pretty proud of this project. And even better, I learned a ton of new tricks for the next one. Chris from Sonic X. I like to think that this version of Silver is actually lactose intolerant. That's all I got on his lore so far. Join the Patreon if you want. Helps keep the channel going. Kisses.